G-Wagon. And I just want to go and show you guys this cool little AMG keychain. It kind of looks like white carbon fiber. Nice, it kind of matches the white G63 we have here in the back. This right here is the 2020 Mercedes G63. Sticker price, maybe around $200,000, $216,000. But right now, you're not gonna find one that's cheap like that. You're gonna find something that's around the $300,000 mark, $275,000, $280,000, around that mark, just because the demand for the G63s have shot up in value. And so this is the new one, and this is also the first time I've experienced the G63. I know we've experienced the 6x6, we've experienced a Brabus G-Wagon 4x4, but we haven't experienced just a regular G63. And so here we are on a beautiful Sunday morning, checking this bad boy out. I love the spec. It's a white car, but the interior has to be one of the beautiful specs that I've ever seen in my life. This one has a beige and like a creamy ivory tone. On the inside, a lot of times you get black, a lot of the times you get red, but with the white, I feel like the owner did a great job speccing this car. This is, like I said, the new redesigned version. This car hasn't really been redesigned since the 1970s, and that's when these cars first came to be. And at first, this wasn't what the car used to, the idea of this car wasn't what it is right now. The idea of this car was that it was a military vehicle, an army vehicle, going through rugged terrains, going through mud, going through snow. But nowadays, you come out here to Canada, you come out to America, you guys see these cars as fashion pieces, statements of luxury and statements of power. A lot of celebrities drive these cars in matte black. A lot of people in Toronto have these cars, matte black, gray, white. But the redesign just happened right now in 2020, and the most notable redesign feature on this car is the LED headlights and the LED taillights. And so that's usually what the most iconic piece is for this car, given that there's more stuff on the inside. But I'm going to talk to you guys about the headlights, because you guys can see that the headlights are more round now. Before, it used to be a straight box with no curved edges, just straight corners with a more straighter headlight on the inside. You guys can see it's got the standard turn signals right on top on the hood. Very normal for the G-Wagons. G-Wagons have always had their turn signals on the top, but this time you can notice that they have a better housing. It's a little bit tinted. It's kind of like a shadowy tint on the headlights, on the turn signal light itself. And what you do find out is that there used to be 2 bolts here on the older ones to keep it in place, but this one has a nice assembly all around, and it's a nice housing. So with the new style, it has a much more fresher look. And we can't forget about the panoramic kind of grille. This is of course the grille that you guys get on the newer Mercedeses, and this is only optioned out for the AMGs. And so this is the AMG style grille, and if you have a C43, an E53, any of the A35 AMG packages, you can go for that look. But any other base model Mercedeses are not going to get that look. Even the G550 of this SUV, the base model version, does not have the nicer grille. So that's only on an AMG package, on an AMG car, or if you just spend the extra bucks and want that grille for your baseline Mercedes-Benz. And then right by the side of the car, you have the turn signal. Turn signals used to be very distinctive, as they were just a separate piece of light on the car, but now you can see that the Mercedes has actually integrated it to the body styling of this car. The body styling of this car has always had that line go through the entire boxy look of the car, but this time the turn signals are actually right inside. So this car has a 4.0 liter twin turbo V8 engine, and so again, G63s have always had that V8 bi-turbo, so that's not new to this car, unless of course you have the G65, which has a V12 bi-turbo. This right here is of course the G63, and therefore it produces about 577 horsepower on this car. And so it's a really powerful car, and when you compare it with the G550 base model, you'll find that this car actually has 150 extra horsepower than the base model. I mean, that's a lot of horsepower of an upgrade when you're going from just a G550 to a 63. I mean, aside from all the AMG looks and the AMG packages, 150 horsepower is quite a lot. I mean, this right here is, of course, the most iconic part of the car, and the reason why is because every other AMG model, everything from the A class to the C class to the E class and to the S class, have the quad exhaust but at the rear, and on all those other cars in the recent times, they were always, the previous generations, there were square tips. Now they're going for more circular tips, and as you guys can see, these are also circular as well. These do have the quad exhaust, and on this side you have two, and on the other side you have two as well. I've seen crazy videos online with G-Wagons that have been modified, tuned, and these guys just sound amazing. They burple, they have little farts that they make with the AMG engine. They have even seen the extreme of it spitting fire, but of course that was aftermarket exhaust, but still the same idea of having it right behind the passenger door. And so we're gonna walk a little bit backwards and now talk about the AMG wheel. Very distinctive, and of course, like I said, this is another thing with the AMGs is you don't get these on every car. You kind of have to get the AMG package or an actual AMG, or just kind of pay the big bucks again to get these kind of wheels. And of course, like all AMG products, you have your AMG badge right here. Very common. I've seen so many people in Toronto just have regular C300, C250, CLA 250s with the AMG wheels. It does look much better, but of course on the G-Wagon it suits the car. And this wheel looks like it's a satin black finish. Looks really good, gives it right enough contrast to kind of match with the white and the black that's situated all around the car. Going back now, we're gonna come back to the famous wheel on the back of this car. You guys will know that the 4x4 G-Wagon does not have this. The 6x6 G-Wagon does not have this, but the G-Wagon, the G63 and the G550s do. And so, classic iconic thing. You got the wheel in there, just a nice hard sturdy casing. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, the upgraded taillights, curved like I said earlier, and you guys can see that it does not have the corner, the sharp corners on the edges. It's been curved off, and I believe the red light has a thicker perimeter. That's pretty much all the details on the outside. I mean, I can go ahead and open the trunk to kind of just show you the space that it carries in. And this is pretty heavy. I mean, a lot of people are used to the, you know, going up and, you know, just pressing a button, having the trunk open for you and close for you. But yeah, you're paying $200,000, $300,000 for a car like this, but tough luck, and you're not getting that feature. This is literally, you gotta swing it open. But the one good thing is that it's fixed. You put it there, you put it there, wherever you want, it stays fixed. The wind is not gonna move it. It is a very heavy part of the car. It's not gonna move. It's got nice carpet. It's got quilted leather because you do have a G63 and not a G550, and so it's nice diamond stitch leather to match the color of the car. And like I said, this is a beautiful car. Not much room in the back, considering this is an SUV. I mean, you have so many SUVs in the market nowadays. Honda Pilots, you got 4Runners from Toyota, you even got the Porsche Panameras. I mean, sorry, not the Panameras, the Porsche Cayennes have a lot of room in the back. But the G-Wagon, some room, but not as much as it could be. But this is the car, and most people are not buying this car for the storage space. Most people nowadays are buying it because they need a wagon, and it also is a bit of a status symbol. So, you know what? I was going to talk about the interior, but this sound, that iconic G-Wagon sound, is too nice not to do it again. So listen to it and bathe in the comfort of a G-Wagon. Can never get tired. I mean, that's such an iconic sound. And you guys, I'm not sure if you heard it by the trunk, but it has that iconic G-Wagon sound. But the one thing that you do lose out on is the automatic door unlock and lock. Usually on the newer cars, you know, you just have the key in your pocket. You don't have to press any unlocks on the button. You just walk right up, the door opens for you. And on the luxury cars, it's got the soft close as well. But on this car, no soft close, nothing automatic, just raw brute power of your arm and the door being shut. Let's get inside and talk about this G-Wagon. So, gotta do the door noise again. There you go, nice and loud and satisfying. You guys can see, beautiful interior. Like I said, not many G-Wagons that I've seen here in Toronto with the nice color, but right now we're in it, and so very nice. I'm not sure what the right word is to call this lighter tone of tan, kind of like a mocha, like a beige. It looks very nice with the darker brown. I'd say this would be more like an ivory beige, and this would be like a mocha cappuccino kind of color. Very nice. You got carbon fiber everywhere because it is the AMG model. You got polished piano black on certain places. I do see that they try to cut it out as much as possible and replace it with carbon fiber because you are getting the G-Wagon, and very beautiful. You got the same color, the tan beige interior, Alcantara on the top and right by the sunroof as well, which is beautiful. I mean, the only worry and struggle I would have is to make sure that this car does not get dirty. Very fine leather, diamond quilted, and this car really looks like it has massage seats. So I'm gonna go test the massage seats in it in just a bit. Why don't we come inside and let me show you how this thing starts and show you some of the infotainment system, because this G-Wagon has the new upgraded display. And so the older G-Wagons just had a center console here with numbers and a little screen up here, but this one has the dual screen for the driver as well as the center. And some of the newer Mercedes Benzes, like the S-Class, has the hyper screen with the screen going from all the way from the driver's side all the way to the passenger side. So why don't you grab this beautifully leather quilted handlebar for you with carbon fiber and join me on the inside. So two cool things right away is of course the digital display. It's got the speedo on the side, very cool, digital of course, and then on the right you have the RPMs. And right now, if you look even closer, you got the chart that shows all the G's to see how much G's you're pulling when you're going very fast in your G63. And standard G-Wagon steering wheel, very nice to see that contrasted darker brown on the steering wheel. And you got some touch tabs. I don't know if this is touchscreen or not, but you can configure your suspension and your exhaust just right while you're driving. And so that's a very good system. I actually did not notice this on the drive here. I mean, when you're driving, sometimes you want to just pop it into sport mode, or you want to make it a more comfortable ride, and so it's very smart that these drivers actually put the tab right here while you're driving, just to make sure that your hands are always on the wheel and it's accessible right by your hands. So I'm just going to play around and show you guys the suspension. So now we're on comfort, you got the blue, and now it's on sport. You can just see right over there. But now we're going to go to the exhaust, and it's on powerful, and there's balanced. So you know, even the words that they use to describe these exhaust notes are not like your typical cars. Most cars would say exhaust on or exhaust off, but in the G63 it's powerful, and now it's balanced. Very cool words that they've used. So on the display itself, you got the, funny enough, I'm not sure if this is something custom or if this is something all G-Wagons have, but the interior on this G-Wagon on the screen is also the same color of the interior we have in the car. So that's a very cool little touch. And of course, you got your differentials here, which is standard on every G-Wagon. This is something that's meant for the terrains and off-roading, so you got that there. Let's go into the car settings and let's pick and choose what we want to do with the seats. This is just the regular controls, but this car actually has massage seats. It hugs you on the side, so when you're taking a turn, it actually grips you even harder. And when you're coming off a turn, it loosens back off. So very cool, and then very gives you a pleasurable driving experience while you drive this. So you can kind of see here, it highlights exactly where it's going to be working on your body. We'll go back to the driver's seat, and let's look at some of the other options. So we go back to car, climate control, just the way their airflow. That's pretty cool. It kind of gives you a little phrase to describe the comfort you're going to feel in this car. Do you want to feel refreshed? Do you want to be enjoyable? Do you want to be vitalized? But I'm kind of glad Mercedes did all this extra stuff onto this car. We're going to go to dynamic, and this is exactly where we're going to look at the sport dials and the engine So you got the horsepower gauge over here, you got the pound-foot of torque over here, temperature, and we're gonna give it a soft low. We're gonna open up the exhaust first. It's on powerful now. Dynamic, I'm gonna switch to Sport Plus, so everything's on right now. This is at its full capacity. We're gonna go to the car. Sounds amazing, but again, we are in park right now. When you're driving and you're going hard, you're gonna see it go 200, 300, 400 horsepower. Amazing car. I'm just gonna quickly show you guys some other information about here, like your consumption. Everybody wants to know what your consumption's like and how much gas you're saving and how eco-friendly it is. Well, right now it's about 30 liters per 100 kilometers. Not that eco-friendly at all. Very negative for the wallet and very expensive. But this car is so cool. And the best thing that I like about this place is you can kind of see exactly the area that we're in. So right now it shows you right by the front. So this is right by the Mercedes-Benz logo, I believe, or you know what, it might be on the hood. I'm not sure exactly where this is, but this is where we are, in the middle of a dirty sandy road. And on the side here you get the side view. You can either see that our videographer Zach did not close his door probably, but I don't blame him. This is the harder doors to close and it doesn't have soft close. You can see that the steering wheel, you can actually get a top view of the steering wheel. You see that right now, the steering wheel is pointed left, and then boom, you guys can see the satin finish AMG wheels. Put it back for photos over there. Go back, you got the back angle. Nothing too cool, but just your standard angle. This is right below the G-Wagon wheel. More of a back angle on your side, and then here you're getting more of a parking angle. Maybe if you're reversing into a parking and you got like a barrier on the ground, you want to see if you go over it or you want to see if you hit it. Let's go to the back, because again, this is a G-Wagon, it's the SUV. A lot of the newer G-Wagons and the newer SUVs, you would want more space, but I'm a small guy, so let's see how we fit in the back. It's very uptight and like 90 degrees. It's kind of, I mean, this is the ergonomical way of sitting, you know, sitting down, but I'm sure you could kind of play around, and once you find the right button, you can have it to be more of a relaxed fit. I'm a small guy. I can fit, probably will be comfortable for like an hour, 2 hours. Taller people won't be comfortable at all, maybe comfortable for like 30 seconds, maybe a minute. Small guy, lots of space for my head, but I fit perfectly fine. I'm only like 5'4", so nice and snug in here, nice and comfortable. Only thing I would change is to kind of have a more relaxed back. One thing that I forgot to talk to you guys was the ambient lighting all around the vehicle. So you got ambient lighting right on the right by the doors. You got ambient lighting right by the door sills, and you got ambient lighting almost everywhere. And that's enough of us sitting down. And I want to thank the owner again, because he actually is letting me drive the vehicle. And like I said, it's my first time driving a G-Wagon, and I'm very excited because on a sport level, this is near the top of sport SUVs. There are newer ones like the Urus, there are newer ones like the SVRs and RS-Q8 and the Cullinan, but the G-Wagon is up there, and it's sort of a pinnacle for sport SUVs. And we're gonna hop in the driver's seat and we're gonna take this guy for a little spin and show you guys why it's worth $200,000 sticker price. So right now we are driving on the sport setting, so you guys can see that all the clusters show that we're in a sport setting. And we're just gonna settle down right here and go for a small launch. Very cool, very nice. And so there isn't really a launch control all this, but that was just first to second gear, and I gotta say, that sound and that pull that you get was amazing. Wow, that was a very nice pull. And you know what? because it's so tight in here, you actually feel a little bit safer. And so I'm actually kind of glad that everything here is so tight, because you do feel safer. And wow, you're very sturdy with it being the way it is. And so, you know what, maybe it's not such a bad idea that it's so closed off and boxy in here. This is a true AMG. I mean, you guys can see that with every downshift and every upshift. You guys can feel it, and you guys can even see it here. You guys can see exactly on the sport dials all the settings. And I'm just gonna slow it down a little bit more, and you guys can see the pops. It's such a nice car. Like, it's crazy to think that this G-Wagon has all that pull in it, because on the outside it just looks like any boxy cabinet file. I've heard people use that word online, and it's just a crazy car. And so it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, a car that looks on the outside such a boxy car, looks like, you know, it's going to be rugged, and, you know, it's not going to be a comfortable and smooth ride. For it to have that much power, that much pull, the sound, and you're comfortable, like, you're not swaying back and forth. And, you know, I had a very horrible experience driving boxy SUVs, but this one feels really nice.